Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the next reaction to Season 6 of Supernatural. The last episode that we watched was called Frontierland, which was the Wild West episode of the show. Dean got transported back in time, or Sam did as well, but it felt like it definitely focused more on Dean, probably because of his love for Clint Eastwood films. They travelled back in time to the 1800s, to this town in Wyoming? Ohio. I think it was Wyoming. Wherever it was, to find Samuel Colt. Because long story short, he killed a phoenix, as they thought anyway, and they need the ashes of the phoenix to stop Mother. That's the one thing that can stop her, which is this phoenix ashes. And they found out through a diary that Samuel Colt killed one. Went back in time, found Samuel Colt. Long story short, it turned out that Dean was the one that killed him, killed the phoenix. Samuel Colt actually helped get the ashes to our current time, because just as they were about to get the ashes, they got pulled back through time. But Samuel Colt had met Sam and knew what they were doing, so had put a package together, and over 100 years later the package arrived at Bobby's house, and so now they have the ashes that they need to stop Mother, which I presume is going to play a huge part in the episodes coming up, because we've only got like 4 episodes left of the season. We also had Castiel find out more about the war in heaven. There's obviously something really bad that Castiel's doing. We saw that when Rachel tried to kill him. Was that last episode or was that episode before? I think that was last episode, right? He did something really bad. We don't know what it is, but he's definitely going to extreme lengths to try and win this war. We just don't know what he's done yet, but it feels like all the pieces are coming together now for the final push towards the finale. So this episode is episode 19, and it's called Mommy Dearest, so I presume it's about Mother. I still feel like there's things we don't know about her. We know she's the mother of monsters, she's the mother of demons, she's from Purgatory, because they released her from there, obviously in that cave when she floated up. Other than that, do we really know what she wants? Is it just to destroy the world? I can't remember if we've been told fully what her endgame is. We probably have, and I've forgotten because my memory is terrible. But I'm excited to find out more about her and spend more time with her, because the actress that they've got to play her, I've said a few times now, does a really good job, and I don't know if she's going to play her the whole time, whether she's always going to be in that, like the gown, the dress that she got thrown off the cliff in, or whether she's going to be like changed at any point into something a bit more badass. I don't know, but so far I like the portrayal, and I'm excited to see just where the season goes. I feel like there's so many different plot lines this season, where I say something like season 2, the whole season's ongoing story arc was special children, and then that all built towards the finale, whereas this season feels like there's so many different things, from Crowley and Samuel, the Alphas, now Mother, the war in heaven. It feels like there's a lot of different pieces in motion, so I'm really intrigued to see where they take it towards the end. Let's jump into the episode to see what Mommy Dearest is all about, and also it is a reference to Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, that film with, like, is it Betty Davis and... I don't know what it's called, but I know because I watch a lot of Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race. They constantly reference the show, like, no more wire hangers, and just a lot of references to Mommy Dearest and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. So I don't think it's going to be reference to that. I think obviously it is a reference, but I feel like it's more going to be about Mother as opposed to that. However, I thought My Heart Will Go On would not be about Titanic, and it was. So let's see. If you enjoyed the video, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Take a look at the Patreon link down below for the full reaction to this episode and to help support the channel. Let's jump into Supernatural Season 6, Episode 19. Mommy Dearest.
Back where I'm from, okay? It was like $3 a beer.
Okay, then I'm buying that.
I'm not even lying. I'm not even joking.
Good old days when beer was cheap.
Hey, heaven must be missing an angel.
You're not concerned about the blood on her, no? She's really intriguing.
I think she likes me.
I believe in miracles. Well, this is not a good sign.
You okay, miss?
See? Appropriate response.
Is
Are you okay? Because she has blood on her?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah, this is like her one MO, which is get people to kill each other. She is quite creepy though. I'll give her that. So putting all the ashes into bullets. I just feel like things aren't going to go as easily as they hope. Because it's supernatural.
How you doing?
5 shells, that's how I'm doing.
Well, you know, it's a hell of a lot more than we had last week.
This stuff is supposed to burn the big Jesus out of Eve. Doesn't even give me sunburn.
Yeah, but maybe it's
Or
fine
it
for you.
works. That's always reliable.
But for her, it's not.
I
Amber Benson!
You know? Hurts them, not us.
It's like holy water. To you, it does nothing. To monsters, it does. Salt. To some monsters, it does something. To you, it doesn't. It's fine.
In my ass. The dude's busy. Cass, get out of my ass. I was never
Don't put that image in my head.
What we really need is an inside man.
What do you mean?
Something with claws and sympathy.
Like a friendly monster? Those are in short supply these days, don't you think?
Sure, but we've
There's
met
got to
one
be
or
a
two,
few.
right? Lenore.
Amber Benson.
Wait. Hey. Lenore. Stop.
I love her.
My name's Lenore. I'm not gonna hurt you.
I thought she'd been in the show, but I couldn't remember. She was a vampire. She was one that was trying not to drink blood, right? Is that right?
I remember. Eve. I have nothing to say about Eve.
You sure about that?
I'm trying to stay away from her. Believe me.
Where's your nest?
It's like a smart idea.
Gone. I couldn't fight it anymore. It's her voice. In our heads.
Does that mean you know where Mom's camped out?
You've got to be kidding me. You want me to tell you where she is?
Yeah.
You do know she could be listening to us right now. I might as well be a video camera. What are you thinking?
So we don't have the element of surprise. We're still going in.
You're crazy. You actually believe you can stop her?
Just tell us where she is.
We've got 5 bullets to try. Just 5. It's like the cult all over again.
Grants Pass, Oregon. And now she knows you're coming.
Well, let's go see.
I didn't tell you this out of the goodness of my heart. I need something.
What?
Hello.
Kill me.
Oh.
Look, we'll lock you down till this whole thing's over, okay? Witness protection, you'll be safe.
You don't get it. It's not about that. I'm dangerous. I hear her voice all the time.
You're not like the rest of
I'm
them.
exactly like them.
I don't like it, don't kill her. But also,
Ed,
kill her.
I couldn't help it. You have to. Please.
Lenore.
It's the right thing to do, as sad as it is.
We needed to move this along.
Agreed.
Guess we can still see you.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, well, you don't have to wait on us.
He can't leave. Is he trapped?
Well, now it just looks like you're pooping.
Something's wrong.
What, are you stuck?
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, that's great, because without your power, you're basically just a baby in a trench coat. My friend is very sick.
I have a painful burning sensation.
Oh, well, he's out. Sorry.
You happen to know where he is?
He hasn't called in.
Well, most doctors don't have a dead body stored around the back, so... Suspicious.
Does Ed Bright have a brother?
No, why?
Then that's not his twin.
So that's Ed then.
So what, Shifter?
I don't know what we're looking at.
Oh. There's loads of him. People are turning into Ed. For some reason.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing. You're okay. You're okay. All right, way to get you help.
Let me ask you something. Do all of us, do we look like Ed?
Yeah.
No. Of course not. You have a fever. You're hallucinating.
Marshall. Hey, what happened here? Hey, I need you to focus for me.
I don't know. Some bar.
A bar.
That's about the
What bar?
weekend.
8th Street, I guess.
A little bit.
Did anything happen at the bar? Did you?
A girl.
A girl. Okay, and?
A girl in white.
Good. Okay, what did the girl in white do?
Eve.
Marshall, what did she do to Ed?
Why would she do this?
Mommy monster. Make more.
Mommy.
Cassie's got a good point. I mean, if she's gonna make a shifter army, why make one that's sick, gooey, and dying?
Add that to the pile of
Fair.
crap that don't make sense.
Got a vamp over here.
So she's just creating
Nope.
monsters willy-nilly.
Scratch that. We got a wraith.
Wraiths, shifters.
hell?
Is that just what she just
What
turned them
else
into a
do you think
shifters?
it's like?
Never seen that in my life.
They all turned into the same guy?
Oh, great. So Eve's making hybrids now?
Looks like.
The question is why? I mean, what does she want with the... What do you call these?
Well, congrats. You discovered it. You get to name it.
Vampire Wraith?
Jefferson starships.
Sure.
Because they're horrible and hard to kill.
No.
Looks like they all burned up.
Burned up, like
Like high fever. Like the flu.
what the hell's going on here? Does every monster in this town have the Motaba virus?
Well, she's creating monsters and then get them all killed. If you're creating an army, you'd want them to spread, so...
No, this is not what it looks like.
Look, it's a curtain. I like to see you try.
One of them's a shifter,
Jefferson starships!
or a starship.
You Dr. Silver's boys. All right, don't worry. We're gonna get you out of here, okay?
Can they be trusted?
Look, we're not gonna hurt you.
They could be
My name is
monsters.
Sam. That's my brother Dean. Those cops, they're not coming back.
You won't talk. Not since they came for us.
You understand what's going on around here, don't you? So first we gotta make sure you're you.
Like anybody understands. There's just a lot of monsters.
Dozen tests.
Smart.
Got a couple of hungry human boys here. Come on, guys.
Okay, so they are definitely human. I was wondering for a second if they were going to be demons as well, or some sort of monster.
So you
or...
never heard him talk?
It was just me and Ryan in there.
And your folks?
Cops said we were next. They said we were food.
Oh.
Millions of lives are at stake here, not just two. Just stay focused.
Are you kidding?
There's a greater purpose here.
You know what? I'm getting a little sick and tired of the greater purposes. Okay? I think what I'd like to do right now is save a couple of kids. If you don't mind. We'll catch up.
There's definitely been a change in Castiel. Although I can see his point. As humans, you'd want to save the kids.
Should get some rest.
Oh no, I'm finally seeing it as well. Like the Sam and Dean as younger kids, and now they're seeing themselves in the. Okay, I see it. Took me a minute.
Pardon me for highlighting their crippling and dangerous empathetic response with sarcasm. It's a bad idea letting them go.
Come on. You don't let Sam and Dean Winchester do squat. They do what they
I was gonna say. This was like a really weird divergent from the main storyline. These two boys that have come in like literally halfway through the episode about thereabouts.
I need 5 minutes alone with him.
What for?
Torture information.
Yes. Your batteries are dead.
In 5 minutes.
All right.
He's at 25 Buckley Street.
Now what?
Crap. Crap.
Crapola.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in this diner that is not a flesh-eating monster?
Me and you.
Okay, well, let's get the hell out of here.
This is a
Two
trap.
specials, right?
No, that's not for us. We were just headed out.
No, that would be rude, Sam.
Is that Eve? It's Eve. Great.
Phoenix Ash. I'm impressed. I bet you had to go a long way for that.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Destroy these. Thank you.
Bring in con worms and half-assed Spider-Men and dragons. Really, sister? Dragons?
So I dusted off some of the old classics. I needed help.
With what? Tearing apart the planet?
No. What's she up to?
I never wanted that. Not at first. I liked our arrangement, the natural order. My children turned a few of you. You hunted a few of them. I was happy.
Okay.
What changed?
My children, no thanks to you, started getting kidnapped and tortured.
The alphas.
Even my firstborns. After all, a mother defends her children.
Really?
Maybe you'll believe it if I look a little more like this.
Well, shit.
You bitch.
She died to protect you, didn't she? I'm no different.
All right,
Don't
you know
like
what, this
this.
conversation's over. If you're gonna kill us, kill us.
It's Crowley I want dead.
Toadie's not dead.
Too late there.
No. No.
That little limey mook roasted months ago.
No, he didn't.
Crowley's alive.
See? I said that.
That's impossible.
It's about the souls.
What about him?
Their power, you simple little monkey. Fuel. Each soul a beautiful little nuclear reactor. Now think what the King of Hell could do with that vast untapped oil well. What exactly do you think I'm doing here?
Creating an
I'm
army.
building the perfect beast.
Wait a second. All those things we've been finding.
Call it beta testing.
They're imploding all over town.
Well, there were a few unfortunate failures. But I eventually got it right.
Not all of them.
Quiet, smart, inconspicuous. It can spread through a whole town in under a day. Oh, and the best part? You've been with it the whole time. I had to see if it could slip past hunters undetected, of course. Little Ryan.
The kid. I said there was something weird about those scenes. It was a very weird side plot. I was right, there was something odd.
Joe?
Bye, Joe.
If it makes you feel any better, Ryan was bound to work on you. Little wayward orphan, like yourselves.
Exactly.
Crowley. As you know, not so easy to find. So, here's the deal. You find him. Bring him to me. I let you live.
Where is he? Because it looked like he died.
And you, wondering why so flaccid? I'm older than you, Castiel. I know what makes angels tick. As long as I'm around, consider yourself unplugged.
I said like
Work
infertile
for me.
or sterile or something like that.
We don't work with monsters. And if that means you gotta kill us,
I've done a few
then
times
kill us.
now.
Or I turn you. And you do what I want anyway.
Beat me with a wire hanger, answer still no.
Why hanger? Love you, dearest.
Bite me. Dean!
Ashes in the blood. In the blood. Ashes. He swallowed them or something like that.
Phoenix ash. 1 shell, 1 ounce of whiskey.
Is she gonna die?
Shut your eyes!
I did not expect that. This season is weird, man. Just like the flow of it is so unusual.
I think she turned me into a Jefferson Starship. Could you clear that up too? The kid. The little kid, he's one of them.
Let's go kill him.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I know, Cass, you told me. All right, let's just go.
Something killed
Who
them.
ganked them?
God knows at this point.
Demons.
She said the Crowley's still kicking.
But I burned his bones. Is she certain?
Sounded pretty sure.
I'll look into it immediately.
Could he be alive in hell somewhere?
Cass!
Is that where they can't find him?
How did Crowley get away? I mean, it's not like Cass to make mistakes like that. Unless
Was what?
He did it on purpose.
he meant to.
Oh,
Cass we're talking about. Do you believe this?
maybe. With everything that's going on.
Really, Cass? This is getting ridiculous.
So they were working together. God's sake, Castiel.
How many times am I gonna have to clean up your messes?
What is Castiel doing? Okay, that was my reaction to Supernatural Season 6, Episode 19, Mommy Dearest. And that episode was good. It was weird, because I guess like the first half of the episode, I thought, well, this episode's fine. It's showing us a bit more about Mother and her powers. Then the subplot of the boys get introduced. I thought that was a weird divergent. And the last kind of third, I guess, of the episode felt more important to the ongoing narrative. But then it took turns that I just wasn't expecting. And this season as a whole, I can kind of maybe understand why some people haven't really gelled with the flow of it, at least for me. Because it feels so, I don't want to say disjointed, but storylines come and go at such a weird pace. Like I mentioned in the bit before the episode started, the introduction, in like the older seasons, like season 2, season 3, there was an ongoing story arc which took place for most of the season, wrapped up in the finale, whether it was the special children or Dean's last year to live, things like that, you know? Whereas this season, not that all the pieces don't fit together, but the flow is really weird. So, for example, we had the first half of the season was Crowley looking for alphas, then Crowley got killed, and the alpha thing kind of dropped away, but they still sort of were in it. But then the dragons appeared, and they released Mother, Eve. Then the last bunch of episodes, on and off, have been about Eve spreading these monsters, making these monsters. And now she's dead, 3 episodes before the finale. And now we're back to cast Crowley again. And the Samuel thing was a huge important push for the season. And Sam's whole year of having no soul, the first half of the season, he had no soul. We're going to put it back with this wall. Something weird happened at the end of an episode. Nothing came of that. Maybe there's still things to come of that. The flow is just weird to me. And I don't know if I like it. The episodes are enjoyable. And I'm not disliking the show. And the season as a whole, like some of the mysteries are really interesting. I really liked Eve, which I think is part of me and probably why I'm disappointed that she's dead. But just the flow and I guess the typical structure you'd expect of a season, it's fine when things get changed up a bit, but this season, for me at least, feels weird. I don't know whether they're just trying to course correct, or maybe they were done with the Crowley stuff, and it's like, right, let's introduce Eve, last half of the season, let's go for the Eve stuff, and maybe along the way, the reaction wasn't great to it, so they're like, right, let's course correct, let's get rid of Eve, and let's bring Crowley back, and try and course correct back towards the finale. Maybe. I'm totally just guessing, and it's really outdated guesses because it's season 6 of a show that was 15 seasons long, finished a couple of years ago. Last year before? I think it was a couple of years ago at this point. So, you know, I could be way off or what, I don't know, but this is just my thoughts. So the episode itself, I like the opening scene, I like that we got to see more of Eve. I said it before, I'll say it again, I like the performance. She gives off a very calm but creepy feel. Like I feel uneasy around her. I never really know what she's up to. And she can just stroke your face and things happen. And all the pieces of the bar fight where they're all killing each other like vampires, but then the boy who went home and then his friends all started to look like him. I couldn't really put the pieces together in my head what was going on, because they were shapeshifters, but then these were vampires. But they weren't vampires, they were wraiths. But they weren't wraiths, they were, as Dean's called them, Jefferson Starships, because they're awful. And they're like a hybrid monster of a vampire and a wraith, sort of. The pieces are very confusing. And I like the fact that they introduced the mystery of why she created all these monsters. She can create these hybrids, she can do all this, and ultimately we found out she was trying to create this perfect monster, which is somewhere she could go out and spread these monsters and they could attack and get away with it, and people wouldn't expect it. People wouldn't be surprised. And the way she did that, through a child, which brings me on to the little subplot which I thought at the time was really weird and out of place. So halfway through the episode about this town with these different monsters and hybrids and people are killing each other, Eve spreading these monsters, creating these monsters, what's happening? Oh, we go into a jail cell and there's 2 boys tied up, these young boys. It took me probably longer than it should have done to kind of go, oh, it's like a parallel of Sam and Dean, because it's like the 2 young brothers, one slightly older, taking care of the others whilst these monsters attack the family and they're around their life. It took me longer than it should have done to get the reference, the parallel. But it just felt really weird, because 1 minute we're fighting monsters and hybrids in this town that's being overrun slowly. the next minute we're taking care of these 2 boys and taking them home, and we've got to make sure they're okay. While Castiel was saying, we've got things to do, we need to make sure that this is dealt with. And they're like, no, we're going to look after the boys first, which makes sense from their point of view. You're going to want to look after kids and make sure they're okay. It did show the difference between Castiel and the Winchesters and their kind of current mindsets, but we'll talk about Castiel more when we get towards the end of the episode. But it just felt like such a weird U-turn, 90-degree, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Just like swerve from the main plot, because it became like this emotional, these 2 brothers, and do you understand what's happening, and we're going to take you home and take care of you, and the brothers in the back seat like holding each other, and it was very sweet, and it was nice. And like I say, when you kind of realised that the brothers care a lot, it's not just because they're children, but also because they maybe see a bit of themselves in it and their younger life and want to protect them. Great, that's all good. But it just felt so out of the blue for this episode. But then it kind of came and went initially, because they took them back to their home, left them there. Okay, let's back to monster hunting and finding Eve. Weird. But then it made sense later on. We find out more about the fact that Eve was creating this monster, this perfect monster, which was one of the kids, Ryan, I think the youngest kid. And so that was a monster. They did all the tests that they could find. Ultimately, she's got a monster that slept through all the tests, which is perfect monster because hunters won't pick up on it. And that was really good. That's a really smart idea, actually, that she had this monster that she created, which can't be found from the typical tests that hunters will do. You know, the salt and the holy water, all that kind of stuff. I think silver's one, I believe. So that was cool. I like the fact that the young kid killed the brother and the dad. And it was quite sad because you wanted the kid to be okay, obviously. The kid was not a kid anymore. But this show does love a killer kid. I can think of a few off the top of my head. I can think of the one where Jodie's son was like a zombie that came back to life. There's the one with the girl that was in the painting was it like a teddy or a doll? She was like a killer kid, right? I'm sure there was also those 2 girls that were the killer ghost kids. The ones in that house when it was the convention. There was like the kids that were evil. The show does love a killer kid or a ghost kid. And I'm here for it. I think a killer kid is really cool. But ultimately they were killed by a demon, which led to the end of the episode. But before we talk about that, the final couple of twists, I just want to say, Amber Benson, chef's kiss. I love Amber Benson. I know her from Buffy. I don't know if that was her first major role. I think it was. If you've not watched it, she's in like the later seasons, like season 4 onwards. She's like one of my favourite characters, one of my favourite relationships with the show. And I won't spoil it too much because it's something you want to watch and watch it develop. It's very beautiful. And she's just a really nice character, and she's so sweet and lovely, and I just love her as an actress. Even though she's not been in loads, I just think she just comes across always. I just like her. But I like her because of my love for Tara from Buffy. So it was nice to see her again. Kind of forgot that she was in it, a few seasons ago, although when her name came up in the credits, I was like, something in my mind was ringing a bell, but I couldn't think of what it was. And then when we were talking about monsters that were good, I couldn't remember that there was a nice vampire. But it's cool that it tied back to, like, that must have been season 3, maybe? Because he talked about, I want to say Gordon, the one that turned into a vampire. That was in season 3, I believe. So I believe she was in series 2 or 3, one of the two. But I like the callback and the bringing back the past character. She was cool. I liked Castiel this episode till the end of the episode. I liked the fact he had no powers and they were comparing him to a baby, and he was just like, huh, and sulking and not wanting to play along and acting like a little brat, and that was good. I enjoyed that, and it was good. And then we found the final twist. Let's talk about that. So Eve revealed that Crowley's still alive, as expected all along. I never thought that maybe that he faked his death. But I just felt like it was so anticlimactic for his character. Similar to Samuel, although I'm led to believe that Samuel's actually dead, which, fine. I'm not sad, I don't want to see him anymore. His death to me always just felt so not satisfying because the storyline wasn't wrapped up, his plan wasn't fully formulated that we knew about. We just didn't really feel like I didn't feel like it was ending for the character. And I was right, he's still alive somewhere. Don't know where, don't know how. But what I really liked with that whole dynamic was Crowley's still alive. I was happy with the status quo. Monsters come, you kill them, we kill some of your people, you kill some of ours. Like Eve said, it's the natural order of things. And there started to be this really interesting dynamic develop of Not that Eve's not a bad guy, because clearly she is. She's a very bad villain. But also she was kind of squaring up with the Crowley situation. So it's kind of like a work for Eve to stop Crowley, because we've worked for Crowley, he was bad. Let's work for Eve for a bit. And I thought that could have been a really cool dynamic for a few episodes till the finale, where Crowley's alive somewhere, doing his thing with the Alphas. Eve's trying to stop it to go back to the natural order of monsters come, you kill them. We kind of take each other's people out. We balance the scales. But she said, with what Crowley's doing, I had to kind of escalate and stop things. So while she was bad, I thought there could have been a really cool dynamic over a few episodes where there was like basically a triangle of Crowley, Eve, the boys. They were kind of working for her whilst trying to stop both of them. And I think that was a really cool thing that they brought up to then stop very quickly. Eve got killed, but when she bit Dean, they weren't going to turn him into a monster again this season. He's already been a vampire. But just straight away in my head I was like, Phoenix Ashes. Because I know how the show works. They like a twist and they lure a demon in and there's a devil trap on the ceiling or under the carpet or a hidden one somewhere. They like a little twisteroonie with what you expect. So when they handed over the guns, I've seen enough shows, not just Supernatural, but other shows, that when someone needs a gun with a specific bullet or that's what they're relying on, and they hand over the guns, usually there's one hidden somewhere else. Obviously that wasn't the case here, but when she bit him, I just went, blood, Phoenix Ashes. And that's what happened. He said he took a shot of Phoenix Ashes with a shot of whiskey, washed the ashes down so they're in his bloodstream, and so when she bit him, tasted his blood, she sucked in the Phoenix Ashes, which killed her. And whilst it's cool that she's gone, because the death was actually quite cool, like the visuals of it, and also the fact that she turned into Mary for a while, it was great to see her again. I love that actress, and just the emotional resonance of having their mother play the mother of all evil, I think was a really smart move. I just think she's really cool to see. I like her a lot. But I liked Eve. I want to see more of her. Like I say, I want to see that dynamic or that relationship of the boys working for her to try and stop Crowley, when before they were working for Crowley to try and stop the Alphas. I think that could have been really interesting. But they killed off Eve in episode 19 after introducing her in episode, I want to say 12. Not what I expected at all. This season's really become a season of, I don't know what to expect, and I don't necessarily mean that in a good, shocking way. Like with some shows like The 100 that I watch, I try and guess what's going to happen. I'm always wrong, and they take it in a turn that I never would have expected, and it's shocking. And sometimes that's good, sometimes I don't like it. But this season just feels weird to me. Like they killed off Crowley, wasn't expecting it, didn't think he was dead, turns out he's not. He's somehow alive. We'll talk about it. They killed off Samuel, didn't expect it, thought it was fake. No, actually it's real. Killed off Rufus. Oh no, they definitely can't be real then. No, but it is. They're not going to kill off Eve yet. They killed off Eve. But now Crowley's back. I don't know what's going on. I know in the comments I've got so far on YouTube, I think by this point I've uploaded an episode 9 or 10 on YouTube, and there's some comments about the behind the scenes and the new showrunner, how they struggled, and maybe that's a little bit of what I'm feeling here, which is just that the season doesn't seem focused. Even though it does all boil down to purgatory and souls, I get that. I don't know, there's something about, I can't get behind this villain and root for them. I've not got a Lilith or a Ruby or a Lucifer that's been here for the whole season for me to really root against, but also love watching. You know what I mean? Like the whole season 5. Do I want Lucifer to win? No. But he was a cool villain, and I really like watching him. Ruby, did I hate her? Yes, of course I hated her. But she was a good storyline. And there was that big yes moment when she, was revealed to be evil. Yes, but like annoyed because I was right, but also it was a really climactic moment. Whereas Eve dying didn't feel like that. Crowley dying didn't feel like that. Samuel dying didn't feel like that. And that's where this season as a whole I'm just struggling a little bit with. As much as I'm enjoying it, I'm not getting that emotional grip on the show that I had before. So I don't know what the last few episodes are going to be like. We obviously found out that the reason that Crowley's still alive, is because Castiel faked his death. Castiel, who's doing all this really dark stuff to win this war in heaven, faked Crowley's death, maybe to get the souls from purgatory and do a deal with him that, you fake my death, I hope fake your death, give me those souls, I can win the war, then we can take it from there, or something like that. We don't know yet, but the final twist was Castiel faked Crowley's death and is working with him, and Crowley's now cleaning up the messes, which he was the demon that killed Ryan and the boys in the house. So Crowley's still alive, as expected. Well, I didn't know if I thought he was still alive or whether I thought he was going to get brought back to life very quickly. I knew he wasn't gone for good, just because he's such a huge character. I know the force of the show as a whole, which to me at least means that he's got a couple of seasons in him, right? So I think maybe he's in it till season 15, I don't know. But I just felt like his death was too early. I was right. Didn't expect Castiel to be working with him or to fake his death. That's a dark twist. Obviously, we know Castiel this season's been struggling with the war in heaven, doing all this really dark stuff to win it. And I am curious to see how that develops. Even though I'm not as vastly interested in that storyline as I was. I thought Eve was cool. And I don't know. This season as a whole, I'm struggling to get on board fully with the plot lines. And I think it boils down to a lack of focus, and also these villains that come and go. It's hard to know where to spend my energy, if that makes sense. Like I said before, there's no season-long villain that's been here from episode 1 to episode 22, or at least most of the season. I hope that makes sense. I just feel like with Crowley, and then Samuel, and now Eve, and now Crowley back again, it feels a little disjointed a little bit, and a little like they don't fully know where they want to take it. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I'm still enjoying it though, and I'm looking forward to seeing the last 3 episodes of the season and to seeing what happens there. And I hope that I really love it. I hope that I do, because I know I had comments on Patreon which said the last half of the season is so much better. And there's some really good episodes, and also some that I'm, whilst enjoying it, have issues with. So I hope you enjoy the reaction. I hope you understand my thought process. Maybe on a rewatch it'll be better, I don't know, but at the moment in time, enjoying it, but this episode wasn't my favourite. And I'm just sad that Eve's gone. I was looking forward to seeing more of her. I'm not going to lie. Definitely looking forward to seeing more of Eve, and that actress thought she was really good, and I want that villain to root behind, to get behind, and to not necessarily root for them to win, but to root against them whilst, like I said before, loving what they do and enjoying scenes with them. And I want to be like, yes, when someone dies, and I wasn't with Crowley or Samuel or Eve, so yeah. Thanks for watching. As always, my name is Scott. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments down below to let me know what you thought of the episode. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Take a look at the Patreon link down below to help support the channel and watch the full length reaction to this episode. And I hope what I said makes sense. But don't worry, I am still enjoying it. But yeah, I hope it all makes sense to you. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you all very soon for episode 20 of season 6 of Supernatural. Bye, guys. Take care. Stay safe.